guys? Missouri Homestead and Transitions. Today on the homestead, I'm starting it off with painting these boards here. And then I got these all painted first coat. So next it's time to move into phase 2, which would be put the bottom baseboard down, plumb it up, and then put the upper track on top of that. So you can look forward to seeing that here real soon. Okay, now after I anchored down the main baseboard, and that after I plumbed it and lined it up, I'm going to take the track anchors, which are like these 7/8 inch nails, and nail them in. Uh-oh. That sucked. You don't want to do that. Once again, once I get the wooden base down and plumbed, I'll put the plastic strip up in my pre-drilled holes, get it all lined up, and just come right down the line. And then my wife one way and me the other. She's been a big help. Alright, right now I am actually screwing these in line where they're supposed to be. Then I'm going to drill a hole where the stakes are supposed to go into the ground, through the wood, and then I'll stake them into the ground. Yesterday I had my wife do that for me, do the drilling, while I was doing the hammering. Here I'm getting ready to do a turn and stuff, an angle, and the instructions tell you to use an electric saw with the blade in reverse. There's a bunch of different ways. I use vinyl skirting shears and stuff. I bought these probably about 10-15 years ago to do vinyl skirting, and they work real well at cutting into the material down to where you need it to and to shape it. Let me show you what I mean on this other one. It was a rough first one. So it'll look something like this, except I'm shooting for a more rounder and better one and stuff. It's hard to do it without a heat gun. They also say you need a heat gun, and it's still like early spring, so things still get cold and stiff, but it's coming along, and I'm getting ready to do that over here. Show you how easy it is to cut this with vinyl skirting shears. Get past this thick part here. Just get that out of the way. You'll get to what you need. See that? You see how easy that is? I recommend this. Come here, baby. You don't want to cut. So it's like that. Then you'll heat this up with a high temperature heat gun. This will slowly bend, and you can line it right up. I want to take a little more off here. I want it to come out a little farther. Right about there is perfect. And I'm going to screw that in. First here, then over here. I'm getting ready to work on my skirting and put the panels up at that stage. I probably read the instructions over and over quite a few times, and it's frustrating is you even go and search to do a YouTube channel search and stuff. There's very little information about it except from 2017, 2018, and I think things have changed since then. And that, but anyways, it's coming along. I've made one piece and installed it and stuff to get familiar. It talks about using your skill saw with a bunch of teeth and on your blade that has a bunch of teeth. Reverse it so it doesn't damage the paneling. And I've tried that, and I'm using my little hand skill saw, but it doesn't go all the way through, so I had to adjust it a little bit there with the regular hand saw to get the rest of it cut through, but it looks pretty good and stuff with my cuts done. Here's an example of my smaller panels here and stuff, and my larger ones are back there, and there's my first piece that I put in. I overlapped this lip part here, so the front, when it comes in, the foam will be behind that. Now another thing I'm doing is I'm conserving on my pieces, so if I can get 2 cuts out of one panel and use them, I'm doing that. Unlike the regular skirting panel, you're insulated in that. It's supposed to have the smooth part on top, but I'm going to do that most of the way. But my second cut, it's going to be probably cut top and bottom to match, and we'll see how that works. And then, but anyways, here's my first large panel. This is going to be my third board that's going in, but I need a good third board because I'm actually going to put a vent in this one. Here's a picture of the vent. There'll be 4 of them installed in the cabin, and they're automatic, so they will open and close when they're supposed to. And then in the wintertime they'll close up, in the summertime they'll expand open. And I will put this one in my third one, so this one here somewhere, and this will be my second cut, but it'll be smaller than this one here when I'm done. Alright, now I'm ready for my cuts and stuff. This is, like I said, this is my third panel, and this will be my second panel, and I will show you how I cut them. I'm utilizing the panels to save costs, so it might look a little wonky, but I think it'll look fine when I'm done. But anyways, my first cut, my smaller end to my wider end, smaller end to my wider end, but I got this lined up too because this needs to be perfectly straight, not an angle cut for the top. So since my blade does not go all the way through all the panels, I'm not too worried about the stands underneath it and stuff. And I'll just give you an example as I zip through these real quickly. But because these are so loud, instead of hearing that, you're going to hear this. Wear your safety glasses while you're cutting wood or whatever stuff so you don't get nothing in your eye.
And hearing protection.
And hearing protection. What? What'd you say? Huh?
Uh-huh.
Alright. Now that these sides are cut, you can see how it goes mostly through here, but not all the way through to the bottom. So I'm going to take this little guy right here and And just go right here. Nice smooth cut through. Now if you had a regular large skill saw, you wouldn't have this issue. But because I got a small one and stuff, I gotta do this. But you can see my cuts don't look bad or anything like that, so I'm going with this. I'm cheap. I don't want to go and spend more money on stuff. I'm going to spend enough money on this. Alright. Okay, on my third panel I made my marks to where I want to put my first vent. And I went 7.5 inches down from the top, and they're 8 inches long by 15.5 inches wide. So that's my mark. I'm going to cut it out with the saw best I can, then I'm going to finish it up with the hand saw. Put my first vent on, and the people that made these vents and stuff did not consider the rock face, because as you can see there's a gap right through there and that, so I'm going to actually probably silicone around there to get a nice good seal, watertight seal all the way around this so water doesn't get up in there. Because I can see daylight through there, through those cracks. Because of this wood face, it just doesn't come out flush. I might just shoot it from this side into the cracks.